that somebody said might be bored at high school or needs something else.
Right, absolutely. Yeah, we're looking for anything that'll keep students engaged and moving forward. Any other questions on middle school?
No,
Middle college?
that's great news. Thank you. And it's nice to have a couple of staff in Mount Diablo who have that experience. Really nice. Thank you. Thank you to DVC for your openness to help with that. Appreciate it. Counselors, yes, I like Mr. Nedget. I like it.
Well, I think it's true that counselors kind of have their hands tied with some kids that was high school. And I was, couldn't wait to get out there. So it's another opportunity, especially right here with College Park. What an opportunity that is to walk across the street. A lot of our discussion revolves around transportation, and it just doesn't exist.
Songs about transpiration.
Transportation is big, even though they're old enough to drive, most of them. First thing on that, this is the third agenda item, the counselors. I think it's important for us just to give you a quick update on one of the more exciting things in Mount Diablo Unified, which I think is putting back counselors. I said 23 years ago, when just before I became a vice principal at College Park High School 23 years ago, the district had cut, this is more than 2 decades ago, had cut counselors. And I became a vice principal right after that, and they told me I couldn't do counseling, and I said, are you insane? You have to do counseling as a vice principal, there aren't any. We've managed to put back counselors. This has been a high priority for us, and I'm telling you, for a school district, after 20 years to be doing something like that is amazing. So maybe you can catch us up on the counseling situation so that we can see how we can now use our new staff to coordinate those support services better.
So I'm going to give you the update. Can you hear me? Yes. As President Hansen shared, this past year, the board approved 12 new school counselors, and we prioritized those at the high school level this first year, 2 at middle and 3 at the elementary. Just last Monday, the school board just approved 23 new positions, and that half-time school counselor for the middle college program was included in that 20. We are looking at rolling out the 35 school counselors next year with the goal to have each of the high schools have 3 to 4 school counselors, each of the middle schools to have 2, and then a combination of 12 full-time counselors being distributed across our 28 elementary schools. The allocation of counseling at the elementary level would be based on the school enrollment. So if you're a school of 700 or higher, you would be getting a 2-day-a-week school counselor, and under 700 would be 1 day. But we also took into consideration the special population. So if you were a school that had over 90% foster youth, low income, or English learners, you would get an additional 3 days of school counselors. So some of our highest need schools have a full-time counselor at the elementary level, and that adjusts slightly for if you're in the 80% special population group of your population of your students, you get a 2-day-a-week additional, and then 70% 1 day. So we really took into consideration what students needed around the social emotional support, and as you go higher into the secondary schools, it's a focus on career and college readiness, as well as academic advisement. The other things that we've been doing, and I think Randy shared it as well as Dr. Meyer and Chris, is we've been having some conversations with community college through the work of the DGI, Diablo Gateways to Innovation Grant, but also through that conversation that we had with the middle college. We've spoken multiple times with Nguyen, who I believe is your VP of Student Services, and we have some tentative dates scheduled to meet with him and the department, the Dean of Counseling and your department chairs, already planning on trying to have at least, at the bare minimum, 2 focused conversations between our secondary school counselors in Mount Diablo and the counselors at DVC specifically. We chose to wait until the fall because we understand that you have about 20 right now, and then their year ends, and sometimes those people change. And so we really want it to be a one-to-one relationship with our secondary school counselors and the DVC counselors. And we do anticipate reaching out to LMC because we do have many students out in Bay Point who do go to LMC as well.
Did I hear you, Stephanie? Did I hear you right? DVC has 20 counselors?
It varies, but
additional funding for a triple SP programs to hire some more counselors. So he's been on a hiring spree. I think we've hired 30 new hires at DVC.
Are we competing with you?
you know, so far, no,
No.
but every community college is there, so we're hiring about 32 counselors combined for next year. And we've been successful so far with every offer.
And I think the conversation has already started to happen with some of the community colleges and at least within the Diablo Gateways to Innovation. I think a couple of weeks ago, there was an afternoon session with K-12 counselors as well as the community college counselors, and we had three of our 5 high school counselors attend that, and they were really excited and interested in knowing who the person was and really getting a better understanding of the pathway work. So I think it's a beginning foundation with a commitment from both Mount Diablo specifically and DVC staff to continue the conversation. And I know we're going to at least try to get one face-to-face with some of the counselors and your counselors by the end of the school year with a commitment to come back together in the fall and really plan a systemic rollout, not just a drive-by, hey, who you are, and knowing our kids. I would say that that's about it. I guess just to highlight one thing is DVC, in partnership with a couple of Diablo Gateways to Innovation collaboratives and Chevron, offer a summer camp. And we have, I think, close to 15 students that signed up, but only 2 or 3 kind of completed that final step to do the dual enrollment. And so one way we're using our school counselors is the school counselors have the names of the specific students that signed up at the high schools and are working with your staff to ensure and almost help deliver that dual enrollment form. So we really anticipate that all the students that participate in this summer's camp will also participate in the dual enrollment, which we really think is, a good stepping stone.
And we've also kept our Career Center techs. So we still have that service that was serving in the meantime. They really stepped up to the plate.
Yes.
But that service does not go away, so now we're just enhancing it with counselors to work with the college and career centers.
Exactly. And we're really still trying to define specifically what the college and career advisors continue to do, and they're really taking that linkage. The school counselors kind of wear multiple hats, as you know. And with only 1 or 2 at the high school level, they're really identifying the individual high school needs. So some counselors right now are really doing, they're monitoring the 10th grade grades, and they're looking at support for enrollment to college. The college and career advisor is still doing that, but so is the school counselor. And the school counselor is doing that low-level social emotional support, but we also have other levels of kind of more social work specialists, and we partner with many of the other local agencies to provide interns, counseling interns. So I think it's a work in progress, and we definitely would like to continue working with you on letting us know what you need from our school counselors, because we are right at the beginning levels.
There's a great new tool. I don't know how new it's about.
Naviance?
About a year. No, it's called Salary Surfer on the Contra Costa, the California Community College website, and it really helps show a pathway for students and the salaries and the careers that are involved. So I would really, that would be something that I'd love to pass on to you, and I hope that your college career counselors can use that to help students look at, wow, I can get a 2-year certificate in firefighting, I can make this much money, and it really helps them focus on the golden ring at the end of the tunnel.
Excellent, thank you for the suggestion.
It's Salary Surfer, and it's on our California Community College website, and
all you have to do is go to Google and just type salary surfer and click on that.
That's great. I might find it in
I highly recommend it, so that's,
One of the other tools that Mount Diablo is using and planning to expand, I think only 3 of our high schools are currently using, it's called Naviance, and it's another college as well as career exploration tool. I believe it's one that we're also looking to adopt for the Diablo Gateways to Innovation. So I think having us all know the different strategies that we're all using would be very helpful.
So the DVC counselors and then the LMC hopefully are going to have this joint meeting with our counselors as they exist now, and then as we hire the additional counselors, that's gonna
Yeah,
continue.
we're planning on trying to get together at the kind of administrative level first to figure out, okay, what do we need? They have regular meetings, I think Tuesdays at 11 or 1 o'clock already. And so we were trying to figure out, maybe our counselors can come visit them during that time, but then also we can find one after school, because of course we want to keep the school counselors there with the students during the school day. But I believe that there really is a strong commitment to schedule planned meetings and conversations throughout the year so that we can build that relationship and learn kind of exactly what you're all doing here, learning what's being offered at both levels so that we can really support that streamline to the community college as well as the careers in the area.